Do you think blue line blasts from the lunar ice ring would still be floating in space when these three galaxies combine?
I think it would have circumvented the entire known galaxy. It's that quick. That's what I think.
Do you think
We're gonna go back to the moon and Mars and stuff, but when we get there, just put a little hockey rink out there. I mean, it's freezing in space, right?
yeah,
And yeah,
no refrigeration is necessary. No refrigeration. Think about that.
Yeah, I mean, imagine blue line blast just flying off into the nether regions of space, eventually puncturing an alien spacecraft. They track it down. They want revenge. They fly to the moon. They drop off. We get a little tussle, line brawl, Brahmas, aliens. Who doesn't want that?
Well, gloves off. Chad Siewert and Sam Sequenzia here, joined with not one, not two, but three special guests, plus the greatest hockey TV show in the world in the background, and one of our guests. Fight me on that if you disagree. Of course, Sam, we have to give a little bit of love to our sponsors, which is, of course, this podcast is brought to you by Farmers Insurance, where they have insurance for bears. Right, Sam? That's free jingle right there. Anyway, so to introduce our guests, first, let me throw it to start, Mr. Derek Tillemans.
Hey, thank you very much, Chad. Appreciate it very much. Thanks for having us on. I look forward to your hospitality and talk a little about our event and our mission with United Heroes League.
Awesome. And Derek, introduce your two partners there.
All right. Well, I've got my wingman, Rustin Lusk, is joining us, and is Carl on? Or Ryan? Very good. Awesome. I wasn't sure if Ryan or Carl had made it. So we've got Ryan. We've got a couple of good military veterans with me. One was smart enough to choose the Army like me, and one chose a different career path. But still, we all love hockey, and we can agree on that. So let me introduce it to my number one wingman for a number of years here, Russ Lusk. Go ahead, my friend.
All right, thanks for the intro, Tilly. For those of you who don't know, Tilly, Derek Tillemans, excuse me. He actually was an officer in the Army. He did not mention that for quite a while. I think it was like 40 or 50 years. I'm not exactly sure, but but besides that, and he's also a program manager here for the DFW United Heroes League in Dallas Fort Worth, and he has been a huge inspiration for me and was one of the main reasons that I wanted to get involved with the UHL. Besides that, a little bit more about me for anybody that doesn't know me. I served 11 years active duty in the United States Navy. Now I work for the federal government in the swamp, so to speak. But yeah, I'm just really thrilled to be here. Thanks, guys, Chad, Sam, for having us. We're honored to be here, and we can't wait to make this our biggest tournament yet.
And we got Ryan in the truck.
Yep, I'm here. Ryan Young. I'm kind of new to the UHL organization from a putting the tournament together standpoint. I've played in the tournament a couple of years, and Billy and I went up and played in the other tournament they do up in Minnesota this last year too, which was a lot of fun. So kind of excited to jump in on this one. I did a little damage to the arm earlier this year playing out at the Parks Mall, and so I'm kind of on IR. So figured I'd help the guys out as much as I could on setting up the tournament and doing all that. So my military background, I did 11 years in the Army Reserve with a couple deployments mixed in there. So I got to go play over in the sandbox a few times around the same time Tilly was over there, I think. So
Yep.
Got out in 2011 and got pretty involved with a lot of the veterans hockey organizations here in the area in the last year or two, and happy to be aboard.
Well,
Thanks, Ryan.
Go ahead.
Real quick, Chad, if I can, I'll give you a little more of how I got into United Heroes League. So,
yes.
As Ryan said, when I got activated as a reservist, Army reservist, to Iraq, at that point, my youngest daughter was extremely close to me, very tight. She was my best friend, and there were not a lot of folks that she could relate to what she was going through. I think she was 13 or 14 at the time, 2007. And so she didn't sleep for a couple of weeks. which meant my wife didn't sleep for a couple of weeks. And when you're trying to go downrange, when you've got challenges at home, it's not the best thing to have happen. So then you're worried about the stuff you can't really fix at home. That's a ton of stress while you're getting into a combat zone. I was fortunate enough to be in a position where I had some stock options for a company I was working for. And I sold those options, got some cash, and we put my youngest daughter into competitive cheerleading. Now, if you know anything about Texas competitive cheerleading, all of a sudden my daughter went from doing cheerleading a little bit of the time, maybe once a week, to doing it 4 to 5 nights a week. She came home physically exhausted, Chad.
Yep.
As a result of that, she fell asleep when she got home, which meant my wife was able to sleep at home. And all I had to worry about was stuff going over there. And I met some folks from Minnesota. Obviously, I'm from Minnesota. I grew up playing hockey. They had talked about how expensive hockey was, which just about everyone can relate to on this program. Yeah. And, you know, that they felt helpless about not being able to, you know, do things for their kids and their family. And there really is. It's just it's a terrible feeling. I came back from that deployment and was at a Dallas Stars game for Military Appreciation Night. There was a table that said defending the blue line on it. I said, what do you guys do? They said, we help military families play hockey. I said, I'm in. Guess what? Some of the folks that I met in Minnesota started the organization called Defending the Blue Line that has become United Heroes League. So originally they were hockey only for military. They have expanded into all sports, all military families. So any sport that you want to get engaged with, United Heroes League will try to help. And you might know a guy by the name of Brent Burns, pretty studly defenseman. Yep. He used to be with the Minnesota Wild. He was kind of the godfather player. And obviously now he's with the San Jose Sharks. But if you go on to our website, you'll see that there's a number of pro athletes, former and current, that are engaged with United Heroes League. And really, that's how I got into it. And that's why I stay in it, because the stress and the pressure on military families is great, especially with the high deployments that we've had. And sports is a phenomenal outlet, especially for the children, to get rid of that stress and do something productive and be the best kids they can be in a challenging situation where maybe their mom or their dad or both are downrange defending our country. So that's really it in a nutshell. It's extremely personal, and it's a passion for me as well.
Well, that's awesome. Well, you guys, of course, first and foremost, thanks for your service to our country and for what you're doing for the military families. That's a pretty good synopsis of the United Heroes League. So we're talking about the Armed Forces Hockey Classic, which is at NYTEX Labor Day weekend. How many teams we got this year, guys?
Our expectation is to have 16 teams. And, you know, we are extremely grateful and blessed to have the support of the NYTEX owners, the staff, folks like you both. You have been extremely fantastic hosts for us. I think this is our 13th or 14th year now. Yep. We started off with 2 teams.
Yep.
And, you know, we've had 8. Last year we had a crowded 8. So we're doubling it this year. 2 sheets of ice where we'll have an upper and a lower division with over 200 some players coming in from as far away as potentially Alaska to come play hockey and raise money for the military charity United Heroes League.
And is this your biggest fundraiser for UHL here in the DFW area, or?
For the North Texas area, by far, yes. And actually last year during COVID, we were the second largest fundraising event for United Heroes League across the country. So it's pretty awesome. It was spectacular.
That is outstanding. And so 16 teams. So last year, I think you broke it down. You had Rangers, Navy SEALs, of course, Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines. What's up? How are we branching out to get to 16 this year?
So we're going to be simple because, you know, some of the military has to be simple,
right?
Like me. So we're actually going to have an upper and lower division.
Okay.
Each division will have 2 groups, and each group will have 4 teams representing the 4 major branches: Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines. So we'll have a Group A, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Group B, same. Lower division will mirror that. So we'll have, you know, 4 groups of 4 teams. And then on the championship day on Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning, you'll play your equivalent seed across the group. So whoever is in third and fourth place for Group A will play third and fourth place for Group B. So that'll generate a minimum of 4 games for each team.
That's outstanding. That's outstanding. And Sunday championship game, you usually have you had somebody famous sing the anthem here last year.
We did. Well, we're blessed to have 2 extremely very positive military supporters that are talented entertainers and musicians. So we had Selena Ray.
Yeah.
I still call her Selena Ray,
Yep.
who has been gracious enough to join us. She slays it as the Stars, the Dallas
Yep.
Stars performer. And then we also have Bobby Hollywood or Bobby Bollywood, Magellanis, who is an extremely phenomenal guitarist. I literally have seen him on his stomach playing Jimi Hendrix Eruption on his electric guitar while he's just looking off into the distance to the left or the right. He's just outstanding. So Bobby will be playing for the third and fourth place games. And then Selena Ray will be coming in to sing for the championship games, and they'll both nail it. I mean, heck, they might be even better than some of the quality of the hockey. But again, it's all for a good cause.
Yes, it's all for a good cause. And so you've been getting decent crowds here, but we need to get more word out, more people. I know that for our players, when we have a packed house, it fires them up. They tend to play better. It's just a better experience. When I played hockey, if the more people in the stands, the better. It's free to the public, right?
Absolutely free. Last year, there were some folks that came in and out for the public skate. And when they found out what we were doing, they stuck around.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many military families there are. And it was interesting. I remember there was like a 7-year-old with his dad, and his dad stopped by and started talking to us. His son had no idea that he'd actually even served. They just never talked about it. And his dad stuck around and talked about it for about an hour. And I believe he's one of the ones that has signed up to play this year, because he actually plays in some of the adult leagues around here. I mean, look, the Dallas-Fort Worth area has, I believe, Chad, the highest amount of adult league hockey players literally in the nation. Isn't that right? I mean,
yeah, no, it is. It's crazy. It's nuts.
Bigger, even bigger than my home state of Minnesota. There's more down here. And a lot of those folks, are have served in the past. We want them to come out and either play or support the cause, and even the general public. We've got some folks who are going to come out and support the veterans. It's a great time, and we've had some good crowds, and it fires up the players as well. It's just a fantastic event. And we're also on Saturday going to be having some other organizations who will come out and talk about veterans programs and what we could do to support military on and off the ice, because we want to do everything we can to recognize those who service our country today, those who have served, and possibly even those who will in the future, and really offer some support both on and off the ice. So having a crowd and getting the public aware of what we're doing here is fantastic, and that's a big goal of ours to work with you and your team.
Yeah, and at the end of this, when we publish this podcast, Sam will put their contact info. If there's any business owners out there who want to do something to support our veterans in the area, absolutely no better way than doing this through the UHL. Are you guys going to have silent auction, drawings, all that kind of stuff in the lobby?
Absolutely. So again, we are a military charity, a 501c3 organization. So all donations are considered tax deductible. So you can claim those when you itemize your expenses and your deductions. Last year we had some tremendous silent auction items, including a personally signed Wayne Gretzky Kings jersey. That was one of the highlights. It was pretty awesome. If you're a Minnesota North Stars fan like I grew up as, we took Steve Payne, who used to be the captain and an NHL All-Star and pro. He sent down his Minnesota North Stars 50-year alumni game-worn jersey. That's sold. We've already got items right now. We usually get the Dallas Stars donate a suite or at least 4 seats in the lower level. The U-All and the Brahmas normally put in some things. We'll get signed jerseys. We've had Heiskanen jerseys, Foxa jerseys. I think last year we had a Heiskanen and a Pavelski jersey. So we'll get some of those, and if we're lucky, we will be able to have maybe a Stars player or alumni come out. We are potentially putting together an alumni game which you know a little bit about, Chad. And so there will be some names that we could throw out there, which would be pretty awesome.
That's amazing. I mean, for the Brahma fans, if you haven't been out here and seen this tournament, you need to come in. You're going to be going through hockey withdrawal by the beginning of September anyway, especially with us being booted in the first round of the playoffs this year. You're going to be jonesing to see some hockey. So come on out. And speaking of what you guys are playing for, behind you, Russ, why don't you tell us all about that sweet trophy, its namesake, and the whole story of that, because that's pretty awesome.
It is.
Yeah, so it's the James Maggie Magellanis Memorial Trophy. When we initially met Maggie and his family, he was obviously still with us and was actually a very vibrant one. I believe was 101 years old. Had more energy than Tilly, if you could even believe that. But and he actually liked to talk more than Tilly, if you could also believe that. But subtle chirps. But you know, through the course of meeting Maggie and hearing his story and actually being able to go to his home and kind of seeing his museum of sorts that he kept there, we were just in awe of a war hero, that we would even be able to not just call him a friend, but also call him almost a partner to an extent, because he really believed in what we were doing, along with his son, Jim Jr., and the rest of his family. And his family is just absolutely incredible. His children, his grandchildren are incredible athletes. They're constantly doing clinics and things like that, which we actually may utilize in the future here with United Heroes League. We've discussed that with them. Unfortunately, with COVID, it kind of put it on the back burner, but we're going to work on that. But yeah, the trophy itself was made to honor Maggie, and we initially had it because we only had 4 teams in the tournament, so the winner of those 4 teams was going to get the trophy. Well, fast forward another year, which was last year, and we had 8 teams because we were growing quite a bit more, and so we ended up getting another trophy, the Fisk-Hanley Trophy, which is now unfortunately also a memorial trophy, and he's another World War II hero that we were fortunate to meet. But with Maggie, I'll tell you what, probably the most priceless moment, I'd say, for me and Tilly both, would be when we had the draft party at NYTEX at Zero a couple of years ago. We had the live draft party and the unveiling of the trophy, and Maggie was actually there for it. And to witness him staring at his likeness, which is, where's it at? Right here, and his story. By the way, this is a heavy AF trophy, by the way. But if you can see his face. And not only that, I want to give Michael Brandon from Trophy Arts down. They were on White Selma, but he moved. But Trophy Arts, they have taken amazing care of us when it comes to this tournament. And I believe.
Oh no.
So they've done a tremendous job with the trophies. So they have one for Maggie, and so we actually have the Maggie division, and we have the Fisk-Hanley division. And these trophies are absolutely just exceptional, absolutely exceptional.
He's okay.
And
look at that. By the
way. They are built extremely sturdy, which I think we just proved.
There's a little dent in the bowl, but it just adds character. As they say in Slapshot, I'm making it look mean. So
no, listen, guys.
Let's go viral with that. Why don't we? Let's go viral. And I will say, it's intact, except for a dent. Like literally, I am shocked.
What?
That is embarrassing, by the way.
So we're going to make sure that Russ does not have both trophies in his house at one time moving forward.
Small little dent. That's all. Little small dent.
No, listen. Y'all, Derek, you can tell it, but Maggie.
I see that in slow motion. I'm sorry. It happened in slow motion.
Maggie was the single most decorated war hero in modern history, right? I mean, the number of things that guy has been through and accomplished in his life, it's stupid. Like, you can't even fathom it. Am I wrong?
He is the highest decorated officer in the history of the 82nd Airborne Division. So although he's been recommended once or twice for the Medal of Honor, he has not been awarded that distinction. But what I can share with you is we've been very fortunate. I think it was year before last in 2019. Maggie came out there and asked if he could speak before we dropped the puck, and we had him drop the puck.
Yeah.
And I still get goosebumps thinking about that speech. He was riveting. 100% an amazing American and extremely inspirational. It was emotional. He talked about America. He talked about the mission, and he talked about how happy he was to see so many military members continuing on respecting each other, respecting our freedom, and he has, he calls it, my mission is not yet complete. I mean, the guy lived to be over 100 years old, and I can tell you that he was full of zealous energy, overabundance energy, and an amazing American. And Russ and I also had the opportunity to listen to him talk about the singing of Silent Night during the Battle of the Bulge in Germany. So you hear about that in movies. Maggie was a guy that lived it and could still talk about it. And there's a movie called A Bridge Too Far. Pretty famous movie, a lot of great actors in it, and Maggie's character is in that movie. And he crossed that river in those dugout canoes where hundreds of Americans lost their life to get across. I think it was I can't remember the name of the river, Namakogan River or something like that. I apologize for that, but he and his family are considered royalty by all of Holland. When Maggie would go visit anywhere in Holland, the king and the queen would make room on their schedules for Maggie Magellanis. And so just an amazing individual. And as Russ said, you ought to come on out there. The book that he did, All the Way to Berlin. Isn't that right, Russ? You held that up? Phenomenal book. I will tell you that it's written by a soldier. So it's not going to be literary genius, but he will give you, and I encourage you guys to read that book. You'll never have a bad day again in your life. Okay? You will appreciate sitting at a traffic light when there's no traffic coming the other way for no reason after reading that book, because it just puts how blessed we are as Americans to have someone like him fighting on behalf of all of us. Just an amazing man. And in his own way, Fisk was equally impressive. He got shot down over Japan and went to the worst POW camp that they had, where 8% of the prisoners survived. Just 8%. And we got to meet Fisk, and we went over to T&P Tavern, and Fisk owned the entire bar. He owned it, man. I mean, he just overflowing with life, and just tremendous, just amazing Americans. There's not a lot of them left. And part of the reason we do this tournament is in their memory, number one. Number two, there's a great generation of folks who have served our country, and you give up a lot of sacrifices for you and really for your family. And we come together to celebrate that, to recognize that, to thank them, and to hopefully raise funds for other families now and in the future to as a way of saying thank you for everything that you do.
Awesome. Well, we're running out of time here. So in summation, Labor Day weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we have games free to the public. Come on out, support, make some bids on some auction items, watch some hockey. Judging from how smoothly Russ handled the trophy, there's no doubt that his mitts will be just as equally slick out there on the ice. But they're going to they have great uniforms for this tournament always. Last year's uniforms, tops, guys. Those were really amazing to see, and we expect more of the same. We'll put some information in the posting of this. Support, look up the UHL, see how you can support, see what you can do for these military families, and man, we hope that it's the 30th year anniversary and 40th year anniversary and all that. Hopefully one of these days, Tilly, you'll be all old and 100 years old and full of life, owning Zaroma.
I appreciate that. That doesn't seem so far away anymore. But no, we're gonna have an absolutely outstanding event. We appreciate all the hospitality from the NYTEX family and the Brahmas. And again, that all-star game, we're looking at having Dallas Stars alumni and the Brahmas alumni.
Yep.
And so as we get that tighter, we'll pass those details out. But you'll see some great folks and a great cause. Awesome.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for your service, and let's keep things out of Russ's hands. As he was a drummer, it should be noted.
Look at this. I even have my drum pins.
Hey, Ryan, pins. I think we're going to have Ryan hold the trophies from now on.
I think even that's a good idea.
Driving, Ryan.
Yeah, with one bad arm, and while I'm driving, I'll hold the trophies.
And you'll still be more efficient than me, brother.
Thank you, guys. Thanks very much, Sam. Thanks very much, Chad. We appreciate y'all.
You bet.
Much love. Thank you so much to you guys. And it's definitely NYTEX, man. We can't do it without y'all.
You got it, boys. Well, we'll see you soon, and we got some emailing to do back and forth on some other things. But until then, stay gold. We'll see you soon.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Well, let's talk about one thing. So obviously, you either live in a recording studio, or you are voiceover Mike. That's your website, right? voiceovermike.com. Voiceovermike.com. Indeed, yes. So you do, of course, baseball, football in the fall, hockey, and then you've carved out a little niche for yourself. What are you going to read? Audiobooks?
Well, folks, write in and tell us what you think of a Mitchell Digby Blue Line Blast from the Lunar Ice Rink. And until then, I love you.
Baby arm.
Baby arm.
Great job, everyone. Great job.
Awesome, man.
8! Brilliant!
And take 2. Go.
Yeah, ready?
Anybody cigarette? Ask me for a light. And make that death a crime. Speak for a solid expression. You're gonna play it. What are you doing over there? That's a really impressive Kenny Rogers. It is. I know it all.
Of the Lone Star Brahmas media team. I am not Chad Siewert. Instead, I am Graham Burke, and I am the goal. Okay. All right. No, you're chill. Hey.
Okay, I got it, guys. You're the best. You're the best. You're the best.
Thank you,
that ever
lads.
was. Love you, mean it.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Enjoy your day.
Barbasol contest. Something about shaving your beard. Okay. It'd be funny. I should shave it and then like nick it like 1,000 times. So I get like Def Leppard jeans. All right, here we go. Ready? And yeah.
Okay. And take 2. Go.
It is.
I know it all.